Hey guys. Okay. Here it goes. Alright. I'm a little early, so I'll wait a minute in case anybody wants to get on. I'm just starting a group here really and starting to get things going, so hopefully we can add some people and really get some things going here. But I've been super busy, so I got a lot of content I still want to put out there. So yeah, all in good time, all in divine timing, right? No worries. So yeah, I actually talked to Morgana this morning, which was interesting. I found myself showering and for some reason she came up and and then I realized like, oh hey, you're actually here right now. Like, yeah, duh, I'm thinking about you. We're talking. So that was neat. She's a new one. But today, right, we're gonna talk about saving the world with Archangel Michael. I'm a little, you can probably tell my voice, I caught the little cold bug, I guess, that went around, which I didn't even know was going around, and then I find out everybody's getting it, But, I mean, it kind of just came and went. I'm a little congested, but that's about it. It's pretty much gone now, but I'm feeling a little, So I showered this morning, tried to, perk up and whatnot. So do the best I can here, energetically. It's early, so I'm restored. I got energy. It should be good. He came. The reason why I'm saying he came in and he had a lot of like empowerment, and I had a really good night last night talking to a family member, my cousin. It was really great, and we just talked about a lot of cool stuff, and like life. And she's actually in a psychiatry area, and so. We started talking about a lot of cool stuff. It was really fun, and I made the event before that, but I've been thinking about it ever since, of course. And when Archangel Michael comes, he's just always so strong and powerful. For me, he comes in my left side. He's always been here. I guess he came when I was about 15, and I always noticed. I knew it. I knew the second. I can remember the moment it happened, and I didn't know what it was. Kept going on about with my day, my life, and there were times when I tried to push him out. I'd meditate and I'd do everything, that I could to center and whatever, and then I'd go to it and I'd be like, get out of here, what are you? And the reason why I tried to push it away at first is because I thought it was from, like, my first relationship, my first love, so I thought it was like an attachment of some kind that was there. It was never bad, it never hurt me or did anything, but it took me a while to reconcile what it was, and my ego was going through a lot of like, well, what is this? And I was learning about, attachments and implants, I was going through all of this type of stuff, my research, and so, I kind of didn't want it, and I wanted to get rid of it, and every time I would always get like, I'm a part of you, and I'm like, yeah, I know, but I don't want you to be a part of me, get out of here. But, it was always like a smile and loving and like, I'm a part of you, like, it's all good, and so it was interesting. And now that I've been able to go back and actually asked, a friend of mine and, to verify, it was him, and then he laughed and he said how long, Archangel Michael laughed and said, he was wondering how long it'd take me to figure it out. So that was really funny. But, in that sense, we can really have them with us very physically, because I definitely do all the time. And so again, I say that because my energy and, but him, Archangel Michael, for me, I'm a Michael, makes sense, really easy for me to connect with them. He's always been here. I've always known he's been here, but I didn't know what it was, right? So yeah, with that being said, a lot of power, a lot of empowerment, and, that's what I'm all about too. So it all makes total sense. It's really interesting. You put it all together. Sorry, I keep looking to the side. That's, he's on my left. This is my left. It looks to the right to you guys, I think. I don't know. Okay, so let's, I wrote some things down. So I wrote down, saving the world. And I guess we'll start, I wrote them in the opposite way, but we'll start with what that really means. And he gave me I was looking for a picture to post, and he gave me the image of him, striking down Lucifer. They always paint and they always sculpt. And it's interesting because he said, that's not exactly, the point of it, Everything is symbolism, that we use in life. It's like tarot cards. It's like, horoscopes, or, your sun signs. It's like, oh, I'm this, therefore I have these traits. We're all just really trying to simplify and understand things. So, but a lot of times people who don't really understand the whole story, right, and what it is, they see him as slaying Lucifer, and so he's a protector. But if Lucifer's an archangel, like, why would you want to slay, your brother, right? So it's the idea of, being above, rising above the negative energy, the Lucifer energy, that's got all that bad connotation about it. And he really, because he's saying he would never hurt his brother ever, like, kill him, no. And in reality, yeah, but he's human, right? And yeah, that's all on another level. Soul contracts, lives, universes, right? There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. He's saying now, because we have to play the roles for each other sometimes. So, but he would never, that's not the point. And that sort of has to do with the limited human perspective, like, because even in death we think, that it's over, that something, all of it, most people fear death. There's that mortality, or mortality. I think, whatever, and even that's really not true, because you never really die. You just go on to the next journey. So yeah, he really wanted to talk about, there's a lot of, so he wanted to emphasize the work that's being done and its importance, how important it is that we're doing the work, and how proud and happy, he is of all of us. But there's something coming. The world's changing, and we can't look at the old world and expect to see the new world. So, what are we looking for, right? Well, what if there's nothing to look for? And so we have to create it, and that's really what it comes down, and that's what he means by the work that's being done by everyone, because that's really what it's going to take. We're too busy, there's so much reliance on, like, entities and governments and this and that in order to, like, fix everything or whatever, and in reality it just comes down to being nice. It comes down to taking care of yourself and taking care of your loved ones. I've said before, we really have to start to live by the beat of our own heart and not live by systems, living because this is what I'm supposed to do based off a piece of paper, so, and in doing so, we just empower each other to really, be who we are, grow, love, all of that stuff. But he wanted to talk about what's coming, 2020, sort of like, it's going to be a really intense year for a lot of people. Some of us are sort of, we've caught wind of this, and we're getting prepared for it all, and most of us are a lot more prepared. There's a lot of people who don't know anything, and they're not going to be as prepared. So we're going to have to, be there for everyone. So, what else? Okay, and that's what he's saying. When you can be there, this is what he was telling me last night. When you can be there for others and you can hold the space for others, it literally means everything, and we don't give it enough credit. You don't give, he's saying you don't give yourselves enough credit for the love that you really give to the world. Because that's what's important, even though it might not seem like it. Right, it doesn't seem like it, but we all know the difference between love and hate. Love that's where I want to go every time. And so the image he gave me was kind of like a pet, so I got my little pet Maxie. Where'd he go? I don't know. and he's only 5 months old, so you know, you can't be upset at a baby for not knowing, right? So, look at, he's biting, he's still biting, so at some point I gotta, I gotta like, no more, I gotta like intense it, otherwise he doesn't understand it. So there's layers and there's levels, and he's on a level where I have to go to his level to explain it to him. For him, he's animal instinct. I have to explain to him, not yell, but be forceful, so he gets it, so he knows not to do it. And I think was it Mothers and Their Cats? It says something about how they whatever, they weed it out of them when they're little, because they'll bite their mom, and the mom and goes at them. So it's okay to kind of do that, but so the point, right, being that there's layers and holding the space, it's crucial, because if no one holds the space just like they're doing, where do we know where to go? Who do we reach out to? If all the angels and archangels were just down here on human, and that was the only place they exist, well we'd end up treating them really nicely, right, guys? Right? Like we treat everyone in the world. I know, exactly. That's why that's why you guys are up there. That's why I only incarnate sometimes. Yeah, I know, we know. That's what we're here for. And again, that's what we're here for. That's what, I'm here for. I know what I'm here for. That's what a lot of you guys are here for. That's what all of us are here for. Humanity, humans. We're here to save the world. And I guess that's good. We can get into that now. So, and what is the world? Well, the world is your world, right? And this is a big issue, because saving the world is a big topic. Everyone wants to do it. I mean, everyone wants a good world, okay, maybe some don't, but what does that mean? And everyone's trying, and we're all trying to fix the systems that are broken. We're trying to fix, this, and is that, you have to ask yourself, is that really saving the world though? Like spending your decades of your life in the business sector, in the financial sector, trying to figure out money and this and this, if for those that don't know, money, it's fiat, it's printed out of thin air, it's inflationary currency, it's gonna, that's what it is, it's how it works, and we keep trying to kind of like tweak it and fix it to where, and so it's kind of just, it's like patching up the boat, and eventually it's not gonna, it's all gonna fall apart. You're just gonna have a boat of patches, because there's not gonna be any more wood left on the thing, and then it's not gonna float, right? It's gonna be patches, you're gonna sink. There's gonna be too many patches, not enough wood. It's funny. So what is he saying? Right, so saving the world, right? Okay, so as human beings, we come here as a piece of the puzzle, right? As a fractal, there's all those words you can use. We have lots of synonyms in the English language. Way too many, for my opinion. Just kidding. The more the merrier. It's just fun that way. More funner that way. I don't know why that's not a word. Sillier is a word. I just don't think they like the two N's. I don't know. I got issues. Let's see. Okay, so what about us? Oh, okay, and so he wants me to add the way I can, because I can explain it. So we, as fractals, right, we save the world by saving ourselves, and that's how this is really done, because everyone's trying to save everyone else, but we don't know other people's lives, and in a lot of cases, yeah, sure, like you're gonna, if you see someone's starving, you give them food, okay, but what are we saying when we say saving them? I mean, you're helping them, yes, but saving the world, what does that mean? It means something to everybody inside, but what is it really? What is it going? Because there's people in the world that go around and yell at other people and tell them they're wrong, and they think that that's saving the world. I'm gonna fix the world by telling everybody else how wrong they are, or I'm gonna, and so why are, we're getting the wrong idea about it, and that's because we don't have the context, we don't have the understanding of who we are, why we're here, what's going on. So And so to speak to that, he really, that's what he's saying is, you're all here to do you personally. And when you do that, you heal your world. And so you save your world. And when everyone saves their own world, and not everyone is running around trying to save yours and I'm trying to save yours, how do you know what needs to be saved in that person's life, And again, you can see things that they can't see, right? But are they going to be ready? What if they don't want, like, what does it mean to really save someone, right? Aside from, from receiving pain of some kind or getting punched, like what does it mean to save anything? It means to preserve it and not let it change. Well, we need to change, so that's for sure, right? So that's another way to save the world. The world, I think George Carlin said the world, the world's fine. It's been here 5 billion years. It's going to be here for another 5 billion. This is not the world that's effed. It's humans that are effed, and he was just going with his whole thing. The only reason we want to save the world is because we don't want to die. It's like, but he was way before his time. He was way before his time. But he's a great guy, really smart dude. He was totally channeling a lot of good information. Really funny. I loved him. I still do. Still laugh. So, even though he's a little grumpy sometimes. Love you, George. Love you. That's okay. We all get like that. The planet's fine. So what, saving it, saving it, and okay, so yeah, I know I should. So, okay, so, and then there's the service to self and service to others. You have to be careful with that, because that is manipulated in our society, right? Because it's like the truism is, you can't help anyone else unless you can help yourself, and you need to help yourself to a point where you're good, you have abundance, and then you can give to others. When you're secure, you're set, you're stable, that's when you can give, because otherwise you're giving and you're depleting your system, and you still need to restore your system. So what is your system? Your system is the world. It's your world, because you, and I've said this before, you're the center of your entire world. Everything goes out from you, from inside you, right? So saving someone else's world is not your job, right? It's only saving yours. So service to self, service to others. You're serving others when you make yourself a better person, and then you give kindness because you know how, because you've gone through the, you've stared down the face of hatred, someone who hates you, someone who talks down to you, someone who makes fun of you, anything that, like, would put you down, or be negative. You've stared it in the face and you've overcome it, and you've said, I love you still. I know you don't understand. And I know you don't understand what I'm saying when I say that you don't understand, but, it's all good, and then, so saving the world. And that's the thing too. Then there comes, how do you save the world? I'm only one person. Well, exactly. We need each other. I need you. I need you guys to care to watch this video, right? Otherwise, who am I talking to? It's like, hopefully somebody out there, right? That's why I'm talking. But again, I'm just, they're examples, so you have to save your world first, and you have to know what your world is, and you have to be your world and be in your world. And what happens is a lot of us want to help save others and other things and other people, and then we lose ourselves, like a lot of love relationships. And there's those levels, and where you have that savior count, where you see someone who's, why do I always date this type of person? It's because you're trying to save them. You have that savior complex, or whatever, which I'm totally guilty of. But again, that was my teenage years and whatnot, and and then it just develops, and the truth of that is you're really just trying to help someone grow. You're really just trying to grow with someone. It's there's no need to make it all negative and put all this connotation around it. We're really just trying to help is what it is. But you gotta check yourself. You gotta at all in your life and what you're doing and where you're putting your energy. We all want to save the world. We all want a better place to live. But it's kind of like the wall. I was doing some work this morning, and I saw an MSN homepage popped up. So I saw about Trump's wall, and then they're building it, and so I just saw it and I went, oh wow, like yeah, it's almost it's gonna be he's building it, and I thought to myself, this is a good example of like how he's trying to save the world in his own way, right? But you can't like it's not going to stop people from being mean, all we keep doing is patching the boat, and then someone's going to figure out how to take the tape off, or how to dig a knife in there and slide a little thing in there and pop it right up, and they're going to come right through, and I'm not saying with the wall, who knows, but what's going to happen because of this? I mean, there's going to be crazy, and again, whatever happens. I don't bother with politics and stuff, but you have to use them as examples. They're in our world, they're in our life, and they're clear, examples of how we're trying to, one guy, if you will, right? It's theoretical. One guy is trying to like tell a whole country what to do. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's gonna work so well. Just like I was saying earlier, how are you gonna know what someone else needs to be saved? And like you know what I mean? It's really and we wonder why it doesn't work. Well, I mean, so at the end of the day, what can you do? All you can do is save yourself. Come on. Just trying to get over. Put my hand up so you can. There's a big gap. I'm trying to put my arm out. Come on, you can walk on my arm. I'll hold you up. Promise. Nope, he wants to jump. My hand's too, more weight he puts on it, so he doesn't know if I can hold him up. Okay, sorry for that segue, guys. You're gonna kill yourself. All right, come on. Here. No, we can't get on there. There. There you go. Put your cage down. Okay, sorry about that, guys. You good? He's getting under the chair. Yeah, he's okay. Where were we? Saving. Oh, yeah, politics. So, what was it? Hi. And okay, so what we're gonna say about it is, how do you fix the world? How do you, you just. You be nice. Like what stops immigration, right? In this example, right? People who are just, being nice. Like, what does it really come down to? I mean, it's like again, look at the laws. It's like, why is there problems? Well, look at the laws. Look at the, we're living off of pieces of paper, and we're not living off of the beat of our own hearts. You can't. It's just like in school. All of us have gone to school. Well, not all of us, but it's like public school when you have a class of 30 people or so, or 30 kids, and then they're teaching math, but not everybody learns the same. So it's going to take these people way longer to learn it in the way that the teacher's explaining it, right? That's just one classroom, and that's just math problems. Like, but we're going to give one guy, or just, it's not one, there's a group of them, but there's people they talk to. It's not like just the one guy's making, deciding it all. I mean, he's the final decision, but then there's Congress and the House and but it's so unrealistic to I mean, my whole life, I've lived my whole life, never cared about a politic, never cared about a religion, never cared, and I care about them as much as, because they're in my life or they're around me and I see the effects that they have on people, but at the end of the day, like, I don't need any of them to know that kindness is all we need to do, and being nice and being polite, that's what's going to heal the world. Caring about each other, not being, what do you want to say, egotistical, or not being, I always use that example, of like kids in school when it's the cool kid and then the dorky kid, and then the dorky kid tries to talk to the cool kid, but he just ignores him, because it's like, he's too cool. It's like, we got to get over this, like, saving the world. There's so many layers. but it's all individual, and it's all going to be very personal for all of us, you know. And the more of us that get out there and talk about this stuff, the better we're going to be able to help all of us, or help each other, you know. The more I'm going to learn, right? The more we all learn, the more we share, you know. And that's one thing I always found weird is I get in my you know, emotional moods or something, or purging or something, you know, and I blast music, you know, and I'll just hear a song, it's like, yes, you know, that's the song, you know, like freedom, you know, and I get so fired up, you know, and so I listen to my music, and I don't even know, what were we saying about that? Oh my God, I totally lost it. Where'd it go? Why do I get fired up on music? Sorry, guys. I'm like half watching the cat. I apologize. He knocked something over there, and now he's gonna kill himself again. 5 months. 5 months. That's why being. What was I saying? So being nice, being kind, right? And why I blast my music. Okay, but why? I mean, we all blast music, right? Okay. But you. I guess that one's gone. I guess not crucial. Okay. What do you want? Let me ask. See if he wants to go back or go somewhere new. He's saying all you have to do is believe in yourself. That's what it all comes down to, because we're all asking others, right? And that's normal. And me and my cousin, we talked about this yesterday. It was really good. So I was saying we talked about. So good. I like that. As babies, we don't know what to do, right? So we absorb what's around us. So we naturally have an inclination to use the things around us in order to gain our knowledge and our knowing. So there's a lot of stuff about, you know, people telling you who you are, you know, and you're asking for their permission or their acceptance or whatever, you know, and that's a natural thing, but we have to train ourselves out of it, you know. So it's not so bad or scary or evil or anything, but it's totally naturally occurring, you know, process that happens. Okay, sitting on my lap now. All right. You know, and so, yeah, so he's just saying, you know, when you work on yourself individually, he's saying all you have to do is be kind and be nice. It doesn't take all of this like complicated thought processes, you know, what are we gonna do about this and that, and think of them, and we need experts from around the world, and we gotta get, you know, we gotta get all this stuff going. All it takes is you to be nice and to be kind, and the first way you can do that is when you take care of yourself. And this is why you have to fill yourself. If you don't know how to be nice to yourself, you're not going to know how to be nice to other people. If you have negative thoughts in your head about who you are or about who anybody else is, you know, that's going to play out in the world. And that's how it all happens. And that's what we're really, you know, that's what's coming. And a lot of people are going to be waking up to that, you know. Your thoughts, you know, just fly by. You don't have to pick any thought, you know. It's like if you try to meditate, oh, I have all these thoughts, right? You don't need any of them, but they just keep coming. So your thoughts are always going to be there. They're always going to come, but you don't have to engage with them. As soon as you engage with them and you start to believe in them, then now you're making it real, and you believe it, so it's real, so it's visceral. So now you're going to feel it in your body. And so now you've created a physical representation of whatever the thought was, and then the physical representation being in your body, now you're going to express it in your life. And so then you're going to say, you're going to look around and you're going to say, hey, what's going on? This isn't what I want. This isn't, well, you got to be consistent, and there's a big layer in that. We're creators, but there is a delay, until it gets here in our reality. It's amazing how fast they can work. They can really change things around really quick when you're open to it and you're really, to the change, and you're ready, and you're in that vibration and you're ready for that change. So there's a lot of there's a lot of uplifting the vibration that needs to be done, and there's so many areas to do that in. And when we start to take care of ourselves and respect our environments, and because I got the idea of pollution, we want to fix up the pollution, the water, and then the skies, but when and it's all about that. It's just like people who they bike to work and stuff like that. Like, that's really good, as much as you can do of that stuff, but again, it's not to tell someone else that that's what they need to do, right? If that's what you want to do, then do it, but find your own way of making the world a better place, and then you contribute to making the world a better place, right? And the example of that I want to counter it, is we have a kitty. Kitty is a carnivore. It eats meat. We don't eat meat. We're vegan. We eat, maybe noodles is probably my what I like to do sometimes, but it's usually when she makes it, so it's not very often. It's like at 10 o'clock at night, and it's only if I'm dying, starving, because that's really late to eat, so I don't recommend anybody should do that, but she works late, so but in that sense that what are you going to tell a cat? Like, hey, you need to raise your vibration and eat veggies, It's like, no, it's a cat. Its vibration will not be raised from eating vegetables. And not to say that some of them aren't going to be good for them. It's good. They like to chew on grass. If you can get real grass, a little cup of real grass or something, they like to chew on some vegetation because it's fresh, it's alive. We all love that. We all want that. We all desire, that morning crisp dew, that freshness, that's a part of us. We love that. And that's what eating better will do for you. It'll make you feel that way all the time. But for him, he needs meat. He has the enzyme that breaks down raw meat, or red meat, whatever meat, and the way that we don't, which it takes us 3 times the amount of energy to break down meat, and until then we gotta build it all back down, or not just to break it down, but just to process it all, I guess 3 times more, because we gotta break it down, then rebuild it back up. Whereas in a plant, it's already broken down when we crush it and we chew on it, and then we absorb it right away. So so what do we do about that? Well, there's an allotment for that, right? Because creation, because infinity, because unconditional love, and it's kind of wild to think about that, though, because that kind of means that we're going to need some chickens to give themselves up, and then you think of, well, look at, we all love nature, right? To varying degrees, right? But what really goes on in nature? I mean, they're eating each other all the time. There's, half the animals out there can't survive without eating another animal. I don't know if it's half, but, there's plenty of that. And again, is that, are they making the world a worse place? It's like, well, no. But because that's who they really are. It's, it's us, it's humans. We need to be raising them, like humanely and all that stuff. And when you know that, like when you understand that that they're here and they know why they incarnated here, it's a soul contract. All we're here to do is to support with as much love and nurturing as we can along the way. That's really what we're supposed to be doing here as humanity, for each other, is really caring for each other. As soon as we stop caring for each other, what happens? We stop caring for each other. It's the most common sense, right in front of our noses. In a lot of people, we're making it way too difficult. I was there too. I did it too, years ago when I was trying to figure out life as a teenager and, in my 20s. So there's an allotment for life, and I think I did a video on that on awakening consciousness. Because the example, right, and the example in that one was a guy who likes to fish. I think it's cruel to just hook them in, and especially you put them back and then you fish them again. It's not my jam. But I know a lot of people like to do it. I grew up learning how to do it. But to go around and then tell people like you need to stop doing that, you need to stop doing, it's like it's not going to solve the world. It's not going to heal. There's an allotment from spirit between that fish and that person, in their life. Like, it's already agreed upon. We're trying to justify the reasons that things are happening here on life, but everything that's happening has already been agreed upon on a spiritual level, on a higher level. It's already, it's all planned out. It's all kind of, and we get to experience it firsthand, and we get to decide how we're going to feel, and we get to decide what we add to this place. That's why we're here in the physical, so we're adding to the physical. But we need to remember how, we change our vibrations, how we do that, how we can, be more than just the physical, which we are. And a lot of this stuff is part of the awakening that's coming, that's going to happen for everyone. Hopefully people will reach out and find, people like me and stuff, because there's going to be a lot of people going through a lot of stuff. And I see it all the time. After a while, you see it everywhere with people, who are still going through it. And you know exactly what they're going through, but, it might take a long time to really get there, for them, depending on, their mental power, usually, how tied into their logical belief system they are, which that's what I was really, like, intellectual and, very, like, figuring things out and really knowing things, and then I realized I have to forget it all, and I've already known, but I had to forget what I learned that I knew, really, it sounds all confusing and stuff, and that's the fun part. It's so funny. So hopefully I really want to do a lot of comedy on stuff like that, because that's going to be hilarious. There's so many, what is it, contradictions, and they're really funny when you can step outside of them, but when you're going through them, it can be tough. So, that's what I want to do, more context, so we can all learn this stuff and do a good job. Help and heal ourselves, heal the world. That's what we're going to do. We're going to save the world. That's what we've all been sent here to do. All of us. No exclusions. If you're a human being, you have a soul, that's why you came. And some people just came to live a normal life. I want to say plain, live an average life, whatever, and then that's it. Some people just want to be here to experience this place during this time. But it's important to realize that even if that's all you came here to do yourself, you have to understand that you still are here. So you're still an integral part of it all. So, your reactions are going to affect the world that you live in. So even if you want to stay inside and hide yourself away the rest of your life, and you can do that, but you're still a part of the world. So, and I think what he's trying to say is, it's still important to do the work, to raise your vibration, to feel better, and like he's saying, like they've said before, you don't have to do any of it. They love you, we love you, no matter what. It doesn't matter, but they want to see us thrive. We've been held down for a while, by the mean peoples, our brothers and sisters who are playing the other side of the game. And so it's only fair that we at least have, that's why God allotted them to help a little bit more, universal law and stuff like that. So, because our universal laws were not being honored. So, by the people who want to control it. So there had to be some kind of an allowance made, but you know, this is our creation. This is our world. We all want to. What is it? What are we doing? We're trying to go to Mars, and we're trying to create like space planets where we can just we can travel out into space, and it's like we have a planet right here, right now. Why are we trying to run away from it? And that's such a big part of the problem. It's that fear mentality. It's that lack. Like we're gonna run out of stuff, or we're gonna, that's like an inevitable doom. Thought. Who wants to think that way? Who wants, and sure, I mean, I was there too, as a grumpy, somewhat, annoyed and frustrated and bitter and, teenager just growing up, trying to figure out life, right? Like we all do. But I didn't want that, so, I had to pull myself out, it was a lot of fun. And that's what we all have to do. I couldn't rely on anyone else, but having other people, around to learn from, it's crucial. It's crucial to know that, that we're all human and that we're all going through it. I've said that my whole life. We're all human. We all have the same feelings. We all feel love. We all feel hate. We all feel all of them, and we all feel that. Like we're all connected. We're all the same, really. But okay, I was getting excited there. Started to get a little lightheaded. Yeah, I'm just low key today. I'll let this congestion get out of me fully. So I don't feel sick. I just energy's a little low. And then I'm coffee. So, and then congestion's there. So I guess technically, right? So I hope I'm doing good, Michael. Yeah, he's just saying, he just hugged me. He said, "You're doing great." It's so funny. Because he's totally the big brother, like he'll totally like, like, it's so funny working with them. Anything else to add? Saving the world? It starts with you. If you want to be if you want to be, in a better world, in a new world, then it's up to you. There's no other way around it. Okay, so he's pointing to what I started saying earlier, that they can only help so much when I was talking about universal law. But because we've been oppressed and because we've been manipulated, that's why they've been allowed, because I told them one time, I said, I said, if, if they're not louder, like no one's going to hear this, and, nobody's get like, world's like, what's going to happen? Where are we going to go? What's, like we've been, if we're just going to get oppressed and manipulated by power, the negative people, whatever, if that's just what it's going to be like, well then if we don't have any opposing light people fighting for us, we're not going to get anywhere. I mean, for the most part, a lot of humans are disconnected from the truth, and with the religions, and with the there's a lot of misinformation and just confusion in general, and so that's why he's saying, that's why the allowance was made, but it also lies in humanity. See, so that's the thing. So okay, so it's humanity's fault and I don't want to say it in that way, but just, go with me. Like, like we're the ones who abused the crystal technology in Atlantis, right? And even though it was all manipulated, even though it was this and this, even though we have to fix it on a human level, we can't, you know what I mean? Because that's basically like, oh, there's a problem over there, and then, well, whatever, we're just going to keep going on. It's not going to get fixed until we fix it. And that's why all of this stuff, it's always about, you doing it. That's why I'm always empowerment. I've always liked my punk rock music and, and empowerment and, and anything that talks about love and all that good stuff, that's so cheesy to, the masculine, the patriarchy. But if you want to, what was that? It just starts with you. Yeah, like that's why, he's just referencing like everything, like whether you're in a relationship with someone, whether you're in, like a bad situation, it's like you need to be like, I'm out, and like I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna do that, and it's not always easy, and that's the problem for us, right? Is that we can't just up and leave, all your stuff because you had a mood or something, right? Like, yeah, and that's part of, well, and that's what he's saying, and that's what we teach. That's why he's pointing to me and, friends of mine and all of us that are really here to, kind of bring back the love and the responsibility, but not in a negative way, in an empowering way, like it's kind of like, oh, and good, so save the world. It's kind of like that idea of, we're going to have people come save us, well, no, we're not going to have anyone come save us because we're the ones that have come to save us. That's why we're here. So we always talk about like who's gonna come. It's you. You came. People are always walking around. Why am I here? What do I do? What am I doing here? What's the point of life? Oh, it's boring. I just blah 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 all the time. And I just live life like whatever. And it's like, well, okay, well then it's not gonna get saved. It's not gonna, and it totally could if that's what you want to do, and you feel totally happy, and you give love and you give light to everyone everywhere you go, and all you do is sit at home as often as you can. Then fine, but as long as you're giving love to yourself too, and you're not hiding in your home out of fear, then that's not adding positivity. So that idea of we're gonna be saved, and then even in that sense, too, it's like why would you want to be saved by anyone else? Like, wouldn't you want to save yourself? Like, isn't that way more empowering for you to just walk out of the room and be Superman and just be like, I've got it all, I figured it all out. Like, who's going to come in and do that for you? You know what I mean? Like, if someone else is saving you, right, this is good because this is the other side of the saving the world. Now you're being saved, right? So now how are they going to know what you want? Have you even talked to them? Do they know what's even troubling you? Like they saw you didn't have, good clothes, so they gave you clothes. So now, okay, they're saving you or whatever. They're helping you, right? But you have to, it starts with you. You have to save yourself. That's what he's saying. It can't be done that other way. So there's service to self, and then there's service to others. Well, when you take care of yourself, you're serving the greater collective. So you are giving service to others. Okay, he's saying that's a misnomer. It's misunderstood. Okay, yes, there's service to self, and yes, there's service to others. Okay, but it's not just one or the other. You know what I mean? Like, we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to take care of each other too, or at least hold the space of kindness so that people who bump into you will feel the kindness, and hopefully that's how we're going to spread it. That's one way we can spread it, is that's why they say just being kind inside yourself, being at peace no matter where you're at, and not letting everything affect you. So that other side, right? So he's saying would he said, do I want him to come and save me? And I just told him, I said, well, I really like to relax. But that's just because I've been, I mean, I'm not saying I want you to save me. I just, if you could just give me $1 billion, I'll go the rest of my life just healing the world as best as I can. It's like, that sounds great to me. But again, is that really saving you? You know, it's like, now I got all this money, now I got all these problems. I got to worry about this money. Where am I going to put it? I got to bury it, and then I got to worry about where it's buried, and then I got to buy the land, and I got to hope nobody goes and digs it up one day, and then I got to put it in a safe, and then, you know, how much of it am I have in my home? How much am I going to put in the wall? How much am I going to put in the ground? You know, it's like, I almost don't want that much of it. You know? It's so funny. Of course, I would be totally good with it. Like, I could totally, don't worry. I'll take it. If they don't want it, I'll take it. That's funny. That's like my human. You see what I did there? See what I did there? Human questions. That's a good example. Human has the questions. Whereas in, you know, I already know, right? And we're all like that. So, and that's what we're all going to start coming into. So if there's, I was just going to say, if there's any confusion, reach out, let me know. You know, I can even point you in the right direction. Yeah, I guess that's about it for the day for today. 49, so about 50 minutes. That's pretty good. Anything else? He's just filling me with love. I'm getting chills on my arms. Her hair standing up. He's saying thank you, and he's looking forward to the next time we do this and getting to speak to you all again too. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so with that, guys, namaste, and I'll see you guys next time. Much love.